And I would like to join the others in saluting you on this your 80th birthday. When I entered the club, you were the vice president of membership. I had to come through you and your committee. And at that time you were chief passport officer. Through the years I have learned to highly respect you and thank you. I've been connected to you in subtle ways. I always meet you at Catholic church funerals. And he's filled with humor. I've known him for 37 of his 80 years. Wow. And I think one of the highest honors that I am involved with in him is that the District of Florida, 47, the District 47 Toastmasters named a major award called the Ad Carrier Award. And I was the first recipient of that award. That award means so much to me that on my personal website, it is the first thing you see when you pull up. Certainly, Ed, I would like to pay respect to you for not only being here originally, but still here with us. And no matter the age of the person, they know you and they mix with you. Certainly, you're not wasting your years. Congratulations. You know, I used to think that leaders were born and not made. Or maybe they weren't born. Maybe they weren't made. Maybe they just emerged. But when I study the lives of different leaders of different countries, I'm beginning to believe that leaders, good leaders, may be born.
Switch it on you,
We commend individuals for making change. People say many contributed. We talk about people. They're talking about people who should be honored. And people come on the radio and they talk about, well, we're only calling one name. Many people did it. I beg to differ with them. Gandhi did it.
Yes.
Martin Luther King did it. Nothing was done 50 years later after him. Jesus Christ did it. Mandela did it. Lyndon Pending did it. Everybody else wants to join in, but it was individuals that did it. In the light of this, I bring to you the topic tonight, the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect. There are three most interesting leaders that I follow, and you may decide which of these you prefer. The first of those leaders is Lyndon Pending, the father of the nation. And while politically he is tossed to and fro, the truth of the matter is, if you sit and study what he has done, he is a really great Bahamian. The Tribune, one of his greatest nemesis, and its editorial board, named him and voted him Man of the Century. And named their own father, a long-term editor, runner-up to Man of the Century. Why would the Tribune do that? He had the backing of a powerful machinery called the Progressive Liberal Party and the church. And then another leader is Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, whose activities of courageousness and fearlessness led to the Civil Rights Act, led to a holiday being named after him. And he worked through the church. Nelson Mandela, freedom fighter, is the third leader. A member of the powerful ANC, African National Congress. And he was not afraid to associate with the Communist Party because they were all supporting his freedom. And he became a world ambassador. The debate may rage among you as to which of these three were the greatest. And having studied their lives, I've come to the conclusion that the greatest of these three would have been Nelson Mandela. I seek to prove that to you in a short while.
Take your time.
These three leaders,
Don't rush.
these three leaders all have a lot of similar traits. They never tried to lead. They led. People nowadays are studying who's going to be a leader. What should I do to lead? How could I be accepted? Where should I go? What should I do? What presentation should I make? These three just led. All of them took on the plight of others.
Yep.
The three of these leaders were well off. You don't get a PhD degree, as Martin Luther King did, by being poor. Sir Lyndon Penn's father was a policeman, owned a store. That was rich among blacks. Mandela is the son of a king.
Wow.
And I forgot. They did not have to leave their stature and go and deal with the masses.
Didn't need nothing.
They all did that. Nowadays, leaders seem to get a high out of saying, I was poor. But these three leaders were not poor. Are you still with me? All of them were educated and comparatively well off.
That's no material.
They all led in the face of death. Death did not worry them. So Lyndon Pelling, when he returned from England, came on a boat with the new managing director from England, a Finkel, who gave him some mortgages, who sent mortgages to his new law firm. And Sir Lyndon, when he joined the PLP and brought them credibility as a lawyer, the mortgages stopped coming.
Yes.
And so he faced economic death by aligning with the Black Party. Others before him, the Turnquests and the others, joined the other side for safety.
They're going for the money, man.
Over that money.
For safety.
Yeah.
They all led in the face of death. I don't have to explain to you apartheid and what Mandela faced. I don't have to explain to you when Martin Luther King was starved by a deranged lady and brought about the speech, if I had sneezed. They all faced death as leaders. They all took on impossible tasks. They took on impossible tasks. The Bahamas was in a sad situation. Uneducated. Bahamians not fulfilling posts. South Africa had apartheid. Martin Luther King, blacks didn't have rights. I don't have to go over that with you.
No.
Okay? They took on impossible tasks. And they stuck with their large organizations. They did not cross the floor. No. So Lyndon Pelling stayed with the PLP.
Indeed.
Mandela stayed with the African National Congress.
Indeed.
Martin Luther King stayed with the church.
Yes.
They all were able to accomplish things by changing the organizations within.
Powerful, man. It's powerful.
Now here is where they differed. They differed in how they demitted the stage. One of them demitted the stage by tragedy. Martin Luther King. Another demitted the stage voluntarily. Mandela. And another one demitted the stage by the very vote that got him to stay in 6 consecutive times.
Yeah, they tried to kill him.
3 different times. So if I had to choose one of these 3 as the best leader, giving you all those comparisons, I would choose, as I said earlier, Mandela, because of how he demitted the stage. Black countries and black leaders and African leaders do not prepare successors.
No.
Indeed, in the last election, the leader of the Free National Movement removed his deputy and ran by himself. One of my sons, who was a known Free National Movement member, said he became frightened when he saw this one man running and may have cast his ex unlike where he wanted to cast it because of his inability to name his successor. Mandela prepared a successor. While Mandela was leading the country, he also was grooming Thabo Mbeki. And he left it in his hands. He left the scene and he became a world statesman. Mandela stayed in prison 9 years longer for South Africa. He could have been released 9 years earlier. But if he had been, there would be anarchy and there would be war in the country. And South Africa would become like Zimbabwe, where all the money would fly and free away. But Mandela wanted blacks and whites together. It wasn't only because he loved black and white. It was because he wanted to preserve the soundness of the economy of South Africa. And so he stayed in prison another 9 years for South Africa. He wanted peace in South Africa. He had to share the Nobel Peace Prize with the clerk who he was negotiating with. The clerk was not being upfront with him. The clerk was playing dirty. Yet he shared the stage with the Nobel Peace Prize with Mandela. To this day, Mandela, well, until he died, he was upset about that. Both of them were not working for peace, even though they both got the Peace Prize. Even in his final moments, here's what he sacrificed. He loved Winnie. He loved her a lot. But for 27 years, he could not touch her when she came to visit him. And that same lady, Winnie,